things you wanna say, but don't forget the role I used to play. When you feel defeated, like your heart's been cheated, just think about me like before.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Leen Show. This is episode 8 of the Leen Show. And Kathleen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. I started off my Friday, woke up, first thing I put in my body was an ice cold Coca-Cola, so I'm feeling amazing.
Nice. I thought you had coffee this morning. So you had coffee and Coke?
Well, let me tell you what I did. I don't drink soda that often, and especially lately I've been trying to eat healthier, so I will treat myself on Fridays or the weekends. But I woke up this morning and just had clarity, and all I could think about was an ice cold Coca-Cola. And Sam came home last night and stopped at Publix and bought just 2 plastic bottle Cokes. So I woke up and I just had literally the strongest, most overwhelming craving for an ice cold Coca-Cola, and oh my God, it fucking slapped.
Nice.
Slapped. So I did that, and then I've been trying to wait 90 minutes to drink coffee after waking up, because people say that if you wait 90 minutes, then you don't have the afternoon caffeine crash or whatever. So I went down to my pool, I took a quick little dive, woke myself up even more in the cold water, and then I came upstairs and I made the iced coffee that you saw in my story, which was fire.
Nice. I'll put a picture of it right there because it did look really fire. It's very aesthetically pleasing, I should say.
Thanks. I put it in a beer glass. I had one of those recyclable silver straws that are super popular. It's actually the first time I've ever made an iced coffee in this apartment. But I've been using a French press, and so it's easy. The French press, you can just stick it right in the freezer or the fridge. So I did that, went down to the pool, took a quick dive, came back up, made my coffee. Having a great Friday.
Nice. That's great.
How about you?
Yeah. I'm good. I was a little hungover this morning, but we're powering through. I did the classic. It's such a classic, when you wake up being hungover, you wake up way earlier than you're supposed to.
Always.
It's a classic. No matter, you could have gone to sleep at 4 a.m., but you wake up at 7:30, and you're like, where am I? What is going on? You're so out of your ritual.
Yeah.
That you just don't, and then you feel terrible too.
Yeah.
The
sun's get the fuck up.
Yeah, especially in the either late last night or in the middle of the night. I never have my phone on, the little clicker for vibrate or on. I never on the side.
Yeah.
I never have it off vibrate. I don't really even like notifications. If I talk to someone regularly, I put it on do not disturb.
So I'm on do not disturb.
Yeah, everyone's on do not disturb.
God damn it.
But I'm pretty good at responding because I'll see
are.
your messages. I check my phone pretty often.
Yeah.
I just don't I don't like getting notifications all the time.
I feel
anyway,
that.
Point being, for whatever reason, I got 5 different people in group chats texting me all at the same time. And my phone was on noise. And so I would go back to sleep. Then 10 minutes later, I hear a sound I've never heard before. There's some new message notification sound. I heard it 3 times in a row, and I thought I was still in a dream because it was so weird. I would go back to sleep. I would have a dream. I would be dreaming still because I don't know if you know this, but dreams are strongest right before you wake up. That's why you remember dreams, because dreams get more and more vivid as the later you are in REM sleep.
Yeah.
So it was great. I had a dream. I don't remember the specifics, but and I hate when people just talk about their dreams, but this is just weird.
I'm curious.
I was flying through the air, and there was a pond.
Best dreams ever.
Yeah. I was like flying through. Imagine I'm like skydiving and like my parachute's up, so I'm like kind of slowly gliding in.
Okay.
And there's like this like giant pond.
Okay.
And there's like 100 ducklings and like white ducks.
Oh.
Like all like 10, 12 different like families of ducks.
Oh.
And I'm just gliding through and I see all of them, and then I land on like a little spot. And I remember like I'm wearing like shoes, like I have like this like blue pair of Nike running shoes, and I remember like I kind of fucked up my glide a little bit, and like my feet got wet, and I remember like looking down at my feet and feeling them, and they were like a little wet.
Yeah.
And then I wake up to like doo-doo-doo, and I look up and it's like a text from somebody that I texted 4 days ago, and she's like, "Oh, so sorry, I just saw your text," and it just completely destroyed the dream.
Damn. Honestly, that sounds like, number one, I think that's totally a dream you could analyze, and two, like, what a beautiful dream. Like, you're just gliding over like a pond. I haven't had a flying dream in a really long time, but I remember being younger, and those are the best dreams. And like, I don't know if you experienced this, but like it feels pretty real. Like it feels like it feels like you're in the air, which is kind of crazy. Like, you know, that dreams can do that. I've always like I guess people say that it boils down to like muscle memory or whatever. So like if you like physically feel something in your dream, it's just like a muscle memory. So like you've probably felt it before. So it's like with flying, maybe it's like you've bungee jumped before, like bungee jumped in the mall. You know what I mean? Like I used to be that kid that like if there was a bungee jump in Court of a Mall, like I was paying, I was signing up. Yeah, I was literally there. And then it's like even at like, you know, 10, 11 years old, the freaking straddle that they put you in hurts so freaking bad. Like every time you come down, it's just like pulling you so hard. But long story short, flying dreams are the absolute best. Like, man, I haven't had a dream in so long, but they should be coming. They should be coming soon based on my recent activity. But
a dream that you remember.
Yeah, a dream that I remember. Right.
That's like everyone kind of like everyone dreams, but you don't remember what it is based on like what's in your body or what's happening like while you're actually dreaming. Yeah. But the inevitable other thing about flying dreams is there's also crashing dreams, which suck. Yeah. And then like you're like flying, and then like you crash, and it feels like not that you're dead, but like you like hit a brick wall, like you hit the ground too hard. And that's usually when you wake up. Right. And like when I was a younger kid, a few times I would have flying dreams, and then I would crash and I would wake up crying. Oh. That happened a few times. Yeah.
It's literally like Inception. That's like what they call it. Like when they're in like the dream within a dream, they like push the person off of a bridge, or they like, you know, make them fall from heights, and then their real bodies wake up from that. But I don't, they call it something. I don't know if they call it like jumping, but they call it something like that, where they have to like actually like fall within the dream to wake themselves up in real life, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe they have to fall in real life to wake up, but regardless, like it's so crazy that you can feel that in a dream. Like you feel like you're falling, and then you wake up and you're just laying flat in your bed.
Yeah, especially like when it's like 7:45 and like your room's hot because you know, hypothetically it's Florida, and also hypothetically you forgot to lower the thermostat 3 or 4 degrees like most, like, you know, we do every night. Yeah. And you just forgot to do that, so you wake up and your room's warm, and like you have too many sheets on you, and like you're sweating. The worst. And then also you're hungover, and like you're nauseous and like dehydrated. Yeah. And it's like, take me back to the swans. Take me back to the ducks, to the pond, please.
Damn. I'm like, I need to look up like was it swans or ducks?
Let me look up a swan and I'll tell you. It was a swan. It was a swan. Yeah, it was a bunch of swans and like little swans, whatever the baby swans are called.
So it says that swans are thought to symbolize grace, purity, gentleness, and elegance.
None of which I embody in any way. Say those again.
Grace, purity, gentleness, and elegance.
Nope. I mean, gentle maybe.
Oh man, you're a gentle giant.
I'm a gentle giant, but like not many things about me are gentle. Like if you heard me walking up and down the stairs, you would not say, "Well, that's a gentle guy." That's not graceful.
You'd say, "Holy shit, who let Bigfoot in the house?"
Yeah. I don't know about you. I like when I was a kid, I was a runner. Like I would go way too fast everywhere. Like I'd like run everywhere. And I still kind of do that. I like run up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
I don't really know why.
That's funny. You get winded?
No, maybe that's, I mean, I don't really have good cardio, but like my stair climbing cardio is pretty good. Maybe for that reason.
Wasn't it your staircase that didn't have a railing at the bottom?
It used to, and we got rid of it.
Does it have a railing now?
No.
No railing still?
No, it was like, it wasn't carpeted for a long time, or like the bottom steps weren't carpeted.
Yeah.
So there were these like wooden pillars that kind of acted as a railing.
Yeah.
But we got rid of those years ago. So there's nothing there now.
That's what
Never
I thought.
fallen down them. Never fallen down them. Thankfully, like we kind of talked about before we recorded, like I don't really like, I haven't blacked out in a very long time. I don't really do that. Thankfully that's just like not something I experience. Yeah. So like, it's good. Not like but if I did though, I probably would fall down those stairs just in that there's like a little gap.
No,
like next to the staircase.
They're treacherous, man, in my opinion. I've walked up those steps and been like, holy shit. I would easily fall over. You know what seems treacherous to me, just because like I've never like been near them enough, are spiral staircases. Those scare me. Yeah, definitely. My grandparents have a spiral staircase at their house, and it's like marble too. So it's like if you're in socks, wow, you got to be careful.
Yeah, one step at a time. You don't want to skip any steps there.
One step at a time.
Yeah, so pretty casual show today. We've just got a couple things we want to talk about. One thing that I know absolutely nothing about that you seem very excited for me to hear about is this new Bachelor season with a twist. Now tell us about that.
All right, guys. Don't know if you've heard the news, but for the first time in Bachelor history, they are going geriatric. Literally, the Bachelor is 72 years old. They're calling it the Golden Bachelor. I'm calling it the Boomer Bachelor. And I swear to God, Boomer Bachelor TM, if I see any other podcast ripping me off, I'm going to fucking come for you. You heard it here first on the Leen Show. It's the Boomer Bachelor. So, so you at least know what the Bachelor is, correct? You don't live under a rock. Okay. No. So for the first time ever, the Bachelor is a 72-year-old man named Gary Turner. And props to them. They're not even like trying to act like this is a normal thing. They're literally calling him Grandpa Gary. Like in the news, in the articles, everyone is talking about Grandpa Gary. So the story is, his name is Gary Turner, 72-year-old guy. He's a widower. So his wife passed away 6 years ago, and he has now decided that he's gonna look for love again. So he's joined The Bachelor. Of course, the contestants are age appropriate, so the women are ages 60 to 75. So he's got a couple younger ones, he's got a couple older ones. Could be a cougar, could be a rhino. I was literally thinking about this earlier. I was walking in the park and I was like, isn't that right? Right? Like a cougar is someone that likes younger people, and a rhino is someone that likes older people. Or did I make that up?
I only know the political meaning of rhino.
Okay. Well, regardless, I have a lot of thoughts about this. So one, I don't typically watch The Bachelor. I absolutely will be watching this season. I don't understand how this is gonna go, because so much of The Bachelor is like so oriented for young people. Like, I'm really curious, like, what types of things they're going to be doing. So, like, for example, on the normal Bachelor, when they go on their, like, individual or group dates, it's usually, like, crazy things, like bungee jumping off of a cliff, or hiking up a mountaintop, or, going to a dairy farm and milking cows. Like, is this 72-year-old man and his new lady friends going to be bungee jumping off of bridges? Like, literally no way. So I'm very curious what the dates are gonna be like. And I was just laughing. Like, one of the headlines literally says, "Meet the women vying for Grandpa Gary's heart." And they listed out all of the women contestants. And hey, I mean, there's some pretty ladies on there, but they're ages 60 to 75. So
okay, this is very important for what I was about to say next. But what is Gary's financial situation?
You know, that's a good question. Let's see.
Is he a rich old guy?
Let's see. Gary Turner Bachelor. Grandpa Gary. Let's see.
Because if I know reality TV, I have a few ideas for some twists they could do for this season that would make it a little spicy.
Okay, so it says Grandpa Gary described himself in a promo video as 71 years young. Grandpa Gary is a retired restaurateur. Gary used to work in the food industry before he retired. That's all we know. He's from Indiana. His wife died in 2017. So wait, the first thing I wanted to say is, okay, you're married and they were high school sweethearts. He marries his high school sweetheart. They spend 42 wonderful years together. She, tragically and unfortunately passes away. But again, not too shocking. He's 72, so his wife likely was, in her late 60s. It's a little early to pass away, but, it's not like she passed away in like her 30s or 40s. So they spend 42, blissful years together. She passes away. He waits 5 to 6 years and then says, "You know what? I'm ready to find love again." And this is what my ex-wife or this is what my former wife would want. She would want me to find love again. She would want me to go on The Bachelor. Like, it's kind of fucked up. I don't know how you feel about that. It's kind of messed up, Gary. It's kind of shady.
I mean, Gary's you don't know how many years left Gary's got. And if Gary wants to get his a couple more times.
Dude, Gary's not making it through this season. That's another thing I was thinking about. I'm like, how many doctors they're going to have on set? Like, people are going to be having heart attacks out there. Like,
he's only 71. He's not 95.
Dude, people have had heart attacks at way younger ages. And think about it. His heart's going to be racing. He's got all these beautiful women vying for his attention, vying for his heart. I mean, they're going to have doctors, like, on deck. I'm what's the first medical emergency going to be in the show? That's really, like, what my main question is, Like I said, I don't know what type of excursions they're going to be going on. I don't know what the dates are going to look like. All I know is that someone is having a heart attack or someone is breaking a hip this season.
Yeah, it's going to be a fall. But it's not going to be related. It's not going to be like anything crazy. It'll literally be like they were swimming in the pool, and then they as they're putting on their wet shoes or like their sandals or Crocs or whatever, they're just gonna take a dive. No pun intended.
They slip in the shower. Make sure all the bathrooms are handicapped.
Showers, yes. Showers are serious business. Yeah, you got to get the like the little the step. You can get to step over to get in the shower. You gotta have the step. I'd love I'm just thinking about if I was the director of this show, what I'd do in the intro where they here's Gary. I'd put him in one of those motorized scooters that goes up the stairs, and he's doing his monologue my name's Gary and I want to find love again. You hear as he's going up the stairs. He's going to meet all the lovely ladies.
Oh man.
I think the dates will be fun. No, they're not going to go bungee jumping, but they will go to Golden Corral at 4:30 p.m. on the dot. Yeah. Golden Corral. Maybe if they can't get the Golden Corral sponsorship, they'll get some B tier buffet. Not that Golden Corral's A tier anyway, but they'll get some local diner maybe. And it's we all go to the diner, and we get
maybe they
what do people eat mashed potatoes and green beans and
read the newspaper
turkey,
together.
Ham.
Yeah, do water aerobics together. I'm a little concerned though. I don't know what the dates are going to be because typically The Bachelor the dates really are super crazy, and they're either physically you have to exert a lot of physical energy, or they're just like I said having them jumping off buildings and stuff like that, playing the stunt man. So Gary, you got a lot of exciting things coming, but I'm also scared for you.
I'm also this is a show. God, I would die to see what gets cut from the show.
Yeah.
Gary and some woman are on a date and they just talk about conspiracy theories for 15 minutes. They're well, you know what really happened on insert event. They just start talking about the JFK assassination,
the moon landing,
and the moon landing, and they're well, I mean, I saw it on TV, but I still don't think it's real.
Yeah.
You know, like there's gonna be some fun, some fun stuff in the deleted scenes. They just like Gary. They're like, Gary, the only thing you and Darlene talked about on your date is how you don't drink Bud Light anymore because it's too woke. We can't have that in the show. You guys have to like talk about literally anything else.
Yeah.
Right.
They're going to be like pausing it every second. They're like, all right, everybody line up. Got to get your meds.
Cut.
Like, there's no way. They're like, medicine time, everybody. Bring the pills in. Like, there's no way that a majority of these cast members are not on medication, like for some sort of thing.
I have another twist I think would be great television to add. I'd love your thoughts on this. So from your description, what's his name? Gary?
Grandpa Gary.
Grandpa Gary. So let's say Grandpa Gary, probably not like a super, super rich old guy, but let's say he's got like a couple million, right? $1 million maybe for retirement, whatever. What would be a great twist? How about let's throw in like a 24-year-old?
Oh yeah.
Let's get like just a clear like gold digger, or not even a gold digger, just like throw in like a girl. She's like, hi, my name's Tiffany. I'm 24. And I do marketing in New York.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I do social media for a company in Chicago.
Right.
And then you just throw her in there, and just like get her and Gary on a date. What the fuck are they gonna talk about?
Who knows?
Who cares? Whatever they talk about is gonna be great television.
Yeah, and it's like that's the wild card that you need, and The Bachelor is very good about. There's people right off the bat that you know are just going to be problems and are crazy. And of course, they're not getting voted off. They're staying. They are staying until like the literal last moment possible. So I'm very excited for the first episode because that's honestly one of my favorite parts about the show is like identifying the crazies. Because you can't really tell from their pictures. Like I was looking at all of the women last night and just trying to get a feel for the pool, the gene pool. And they look beautiful. They look sweet. I mean, they all look like wonderful women. So I'm very curious to see who's going to be like the psycho right out of the gate. Like who's going to cause the most drama and like what's the drama going to be? Because yeah, when you have a bunch of 24-year-old girls named Tiffany, you know, there's plenty of drama to be had. There's social media, they're using their phones, you know. What are old people drama? Like what is old people drama? Like
it's very petty.
Yeah, like so I can't even think. Like someone borrowed your freaking wheelchair?
Well, that's mean.
Oh, sorry.
But
cut.
No, I'm not cutting that. I'll cut things that incriminate me, not you.
Yeah, that's fine. Everyone knows I'm biased against old people. I don't freaking care.
No, like it's gonna be like hilariously petty. It'll be like like they'll break like some kind of like moral rule that we wouldn't even know about. Like, we wouldn't even understand. It's like Abel really, you know, she started eating dinner first before Gary got his food, and you know, that just really upset me. I think Grandpa Gary deserves better. Mm-hmm. It'll be like, oh my God,
it's like Grandpa Gary didn't take his hat off for dinner. How disrespectful.
Yeah, they didn't say the Pledge of Allegiance before breakfast.
Oh my God, literally like, though.
Yeah. It's like, wow, Meredith is lactose intolerant, and you put cheese in the hash browns for breakfast. That's literally the drama. It will be, not to say that I don't watch The Bachelor, but like I'm sure the normal drama is not like super big, and I'm sure it's not that different than that. But like the way they'll handle it will be so funny. Like it'll be like. Also, I just thought of this. I need at least a 2-minute montage every episode of them on their phones, like how they use their phones. Like, all right, gotta pull out the reading glasses first off.
They don't have
and
phones.
Then the classic. No, they probably have phones. Their kids or grandkids are probably like, no, you have to get a phone so I can track you. You're either getting this or a life alert.
Damn.
Would you like an iPhone or a life alert?
Literally every contestant, they're like, all right, you get a choice. You can have the iPhone 15 that's debuting in a couple of weeks. Shout out Apple. Or you can have the life alert button. But going back to what you said, what are the grandkids thinking? Like if your grandma was going on The Bachelor, would you be excited or would you be nervous?
I would probably make a TikTok to like some trending sound, and then the caption would be like, when your grandma is getting railed on national television by Grandpa Gary, and it'll be like her with like a filter of tears going down her face.
Oh my gosh. It's
Something
going
like
to be
that.
interesting what the PDA is like, because the PDA is pretty bad in the normal Bachelor. And you know, I think that's where a lot of the drama comes from. She's like, well, you made out with 15 women today. And he's like, bitch, welcome to the effing show. All right? And I'm going to make out with 15 girls tomorrow, so you better get over it. So I'm curious, though, because, you know, these folks are from a different generation. They're from the greatest generation ever, right? That's why it's called the Golden Bachelor. It's the golden season.
They say.
They're from the greatest generation ever. So I'm curious, like, are they gonna kiss, or is Grandpa Gary gonna be a gentleman about it? You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe these women will get super raunchy.
No, I don't think they'll get raunchy. I think like what will also be hilarious is like, you know, average PDA to like a Gen Z or millennial person, like a 2030s person, that would be like hardcore pornography for them. They'd be like, oh my god, he's grabbing her rear end, he's grabbing her tushy in front of everyone. Her tushy. Wow. I just
no, I mean, you're so true.
Like, you know, like they'll probably like, there'll be a lot of like shoulder touching, a lot of like, I mean, I doubt one of them even sits in Gary's lap at any point. I think that would be a little too far. They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought this was ABC. This isn't a strip club. You're just going to sit on Gary's lap?
Hang on. Oh, you're right. It is ABC. I thought it was NBC. Because I thought I used to watch it on Peacock, but no, I'm totally wrong. Sorry.
No, it's ABC.
Segue.
But
ABC.
It's like, you know, yes, just like the phone thing. Hold on, this is a visual gag for YouTube. Okay. But it's like, all right, put on the reading glasses. They got their phone out, you know, like this, and they're like
extra large font where there's like two words on the screen.
And I just need like the camera just to zoom in on their phone, and it's like Gary is like, he thinks he's being coy, but he looks up like just something ridiculous on like Safari or like Fire, like some, not Chrome, like just some random browser, and he's like, it's taken him like 5 minutes to do it. Or like another thing that old people do that I love on social media is like their brains aren't poisoned, and so they'll see a video and they'll be like, this looks interesting, like put down the reading glasses, and they sit down and watch like the whole video like they're watching a movie, right? And they're like, that was interesting. And even if it's like not really engaging or like not really good, like their attention spans are so much better,
right?
It's that like it's like or actually that's probably one of the things they'll talk about is they'll be like, I saw the funniest Coca-Cola commercial the other day. Like that's one thing, old people love commercials.
Yeah,
they love them. They love and Coca-Cola. Yeah. They love Coca-Cola commercials. Like those polar bears are just so cute. You know,
dude, he's gonna be Googling, his search history is gonna be like, how many Viagra can I take in a day? Like literally, he's gonna be like,
it's been 4 hours. What do I do now?
He's like, how many? He's like, I've taken 5 Viagra in the past 24 hours. What are my risks of cardiac arrest?
Yeah, and then like the Google, you know, result will pop up on the top, and then he'll just be like, he like reads it like really slow. And then he like scrolls down a little bit, tries to open an article, then an ad pops up, and he's like, "Oh god damn it! Oh, how do I get back?" And it's just so, I love watching old people deal with new technology because it's not really their fault, because that will be us one day.
It will be us. Absolutely, will be us. Absolutely. I'm also curious, like, are there going to be any hot tub scenes? Like, what are the bathing suits going to look like?
Maybe you know what they're gonna look like, dresses. You know what the bathing suits are gonna look like. It's gonna be a one piece that like covers absolutely everything. Like
it's an everything piece. It's a head to toe. Yes. It's a head to toe piece.
Yes. Yeah, with like a swimming cap.
Yes. You know? Yes.
That's what they do. The old ladies love the swimming caps. Can't get the curls wet.
Can't get the curls wet. No, man. That perm is on the calendar once a month. You cannot mess that up. Everybody knows.
I also love like the ladies they'll probably be about 5 million scenes of them getting their hair done, because they have to get it done every single time they like go on a date or like want to look good.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, like every single time there has to be like a professional hairdresser to come in and like it takes like 2.5 hours. And like, but like they love it though. It's like, well,
Yeah.
I get to go. I get, me and Gable and Abel
Rosalind.
and Rosalind and we all get to go down to the hair parlor and talk
Hair
about
parlor.
God knows what.
The powder room. Dude, it actually comes on at night. I didn't realize that. Good morning. On September 1st, 2023, I made the mistake of providing misinformation on the Leen Show. I made a statement that the golden season of The Bachelor, or the season with Grandpa Gary, would be debuting Friday night, September 1st. This was in fact false. Due to lack of research, knowledge, and environmental factors that were out of my control, I mistakenly accepted conjecture as fact, and I regret it. Episode 1 of The Golden Age Bachelor comes out Thursday, September 28th on ABC. I want to apologize to the Leen Show fans, listeners, and subscribers for this heinous mistake. I guess all I can say is that I will learn from this, and I will do better. But remember, that while today it is me, we all shall fall. Like, it literally debuts tonight, so I'm excited.
I might check it out. We'll see. There's football on tonight.
I mean,
but,
we're going to
we'll
have
check
to
it
be, just because of, like, the position we're in with the show, we're going to have to at least be tuned in a little bit. Because I'm guessing, I mean, typically Bachelor seasons, it's like, it's just clickbait left and right. I mean, it's literally just all over the place. So I'm hoping that it's the same with this season. So we're going to have to keep ourselves at least a little bit informed.
So just for the listeners, we're recording on Friday. So the first episode's already out by the time you hear this.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if it goes well, or if you'll probably watch it. If I end up watching it, I might. We'll see. We'll see how the Land Sharks are talking tonight. If they want to watch, I kind of just they're at Boga at Publix. Shout out.
Shout out.
So can't turn down a good BOGO deal. So I think I'm gonna let the Land Sharks take over, or at least have a say in the conversation tonight. And if they want to watch the Golden Bachelor, then we'll see how it goes. If they want to watch football, they want to watch football. We'll see.
It's like, what's next? Like the Baby Bachelor? Like they just got a bunch of babies on there. Like we've done middle-aged Bachelor. Now we've done geriatric Bachelor.
That's like a 30 Rock spoof.
The Baby Bachelor? Oh yeah, they do that. They do that.
Well, also like those come true now, like MILF Island.
Oh my god.
That like actually happened.
MILF Island. Yeah, we've talked about this before.
MILF Manor is what it's called, right?
No, it's the real one or the 30 Rock one?
The real one.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds right. But we've talked about this before where 30 Rock has predicted a ton of stuff to happen. Yeah.
Joe Rogan playing Nelson Mandela. That hasn't happened yet, but I hope it does.
Damn.
Yeah, MILF Manor. Yes. MILF Manor, if you're not familiar, is a show on TLC where I think it kind of flopped because I heard nothing about it after like the initial trailer came out. The trailer went bananas. I saw it everywhere. But the show is basically they got a bunch of hot moms on an island, a bunch of horny hot moms. I should clarify. Like they're very horny in the trailer. They're all like, because they think they're going on. They think they're going on like the middle-aged Love Island, right? They think they're going to like meet a bunch of like hot dudes and they get to like hook up with them and like party at like some super nice villa in Cancun or wherever,
Hedonism
Bahamas.
too. They're going to hedonism too.
Yeah, they're going to hedonism too, exactly. But in the trailer they get there and there's like a twist and they're like, "Oh my god." The twist is it's all of their sons. That's the twist. You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, so like they deliberately, they not only found horny MILFs, but they all found horny MILFs who had sons who were like in their late teens, early 20s.
Oh my gosh.
And so like I didn't watch the show. I don't think many people did. But essentially what I could gather is probably all of the moms like hook up with each other's sons. Mm-hmm. I think is what happened.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Damn.
Fun.
Good for them.
Stuff.
But yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I'm very excited. I think it's a funny concept. Also, like, I don't actually hate old people. I love old people, but I just think it's like what world are we living in where we're doing the geriatric Bachelor? But hey, maybe it'll be like the most watched season ever. I mean, who knows? Maybe it'll be a slam dunk.
you got to switch it up, you know? Like, people love The Bachelor, but, like, The Bachelor and The Bachelorette, kind of the same thing over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yep.
Like, they probably find little ways to reinvent it every now and then.
Yeah.
But it's helpful to, like, add a new twist, right? It's reality TV. You got to add a twist, right? Okay, so in entertainment news, big entertainment news, Scooter Braun, most famous for signing Justin Bieber at a very young age and popularizing him, and obviously the Taylor Swift stuff from a couple years ago.
Right.
Scooter Braun has been dropped by essentially all of his major clients. In the last week or so, he has been dropped by pretty much, I don't know if this is literally every single one of his clients, probably not. But he's been dropped by Ariana Grande. That happened very recently. Justin dropped him. Carly Rae Jepsen dropped him. J Balvin, Demi Lovato. And those are just the names that I saw. I'm sure there's probably more.
Yeah.
But no one knows why. No one knows why. If you try to, like, look up why, it's wild speculation. No one really knows why. And it's just very interesting because for a lot of people, it's like, you know, it's kind of like if you view it from, like, maybe this is like too, like, inside Hollywood, but it's like if you sign to, like, CAA, it's like you want to sign with CAA. It's the biggest agency in the world. It's like, you know, you made it if you're a creative or whatever, and CAA wants to sign you. Kind of like WME too, like big firms like that. You know, but, like, in the music industry, signing with Scooter was like, that was it.
Yeah.
Like, that's what you wanted because because you see what he did with Justin and whatever. He's wildly successful, one of the most influential men in Hollywood, people in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's, like, how you know that you made it, is when you sign with Scooter. And now all of a sudden, no one wants anything to do with him. So it's crazy. What are your thoughts? Scandal? You think there's a scandal brewing?
Yeah, I mean, I think they know something we don't know. I mean, that's a given, right? You don't just drop someone for no reason. And it's like, my initial thought was like, oh, it's probably because of all the Taylor Swift stuff. But like you said, that was kind of a long time ago. So, like, if they were going to drop him, if they were going to drop him just because of that, they would have done it already. Ariana and Justin are big. Those are big names. And, like, obviously the other people are big too, but, like, Justin and Ariana out of that list, I feel like are the most consistent with putting out music and are the most famous. I mean, I don't know what Carly Rae Jepsen is up to. But yeah, I mean, I'm guessing there's either a scandal that's going to break, or I don't know, maybe he was, like, stealing money or something. You know what I mean? Like bad deals came out. But yeah, they definitely know something we don't know.
Yeah. J Balvin, by the way, almost 52 million monthly Spotify listeners.
Wow.
So, because I knew like Spanish artists like that, we don't really have like an idea of how big they are.
Yeah.
Just because, like, we don't live in, like, Miami, you know, or like a place with a lot of Latin Americans. But obviously, they love that dude. Almost 52 million is crazy. No, it's. I really hope we actually figure it out eventually.
Yeah.
And I also hope that, like, it's not like some, like, 6-part Netflix documentary that's like, oh, at a minute 45 of episode 5, we actually figure out what happened. Not that I'm gonna watch all of it. I'll let other people watch it and tell me. It's
absolutely gonna become a documentary. Everything, like, this is like a recurring theme on our podcast.
Untold story, Scooter Braun.
Like,
the downfall of Scooter Braun.
Yeah, like they people turn anything and everything into a documentary. It's crazy, so it's absolutely going to be a documentary. Am I going to watch it? Duh. I'm going to watch it. But no, I don't know. I mean, did they all, you said that this all happened in, like, the same time frame? Like, in the span of, like, a week or something? Or, like...
Yeah, so, Ariana dropped him very recently, and that's probably the most interesting one, because I'll just read. I have an article right here, just really quick.
Yeah.
This is from the Daily Mail on August the 31st. This was yesterday on the day we're recording, 3 or 4 days ago. From if you're listening on Sunday or Monday, Ariana Grande has sensationally cut her remaining ties with longtime manager Scooter Braun in a dramatic U-turn that will see her breaking a years-long contract with his management label Hybe. Hybe. Let's go Hybe.
Okay.
I don't know. As first reported by TMZ, Grande has severed her professional relationship with the controversial manager 42, with the singer even unfollowing him on social media. Okay. Just days after it was revealed that she had signed a new contract with the company. So that's very interesting. It's not that like her deal was up and she's like, oh, no, she just re-signed like very recently and dropped him. So that is interesting and probably adds some smoke to the fire of there's probably a pretty big scandal brewing.
Yeah,
because
I smell a scandal.
Because the contract is probably potentially voided, you know?
It probably cost her a lot of money to break that contract, right? Like,
absolutely.
isn't that how that
Yes.
typically works? Like, these people are forking over millions, I'm sure, to break these contracts, right?
Yes, and the thing specifically, and we've kind of talked about this a little bit on the show, but like, if you don't really like follow the music industry very closely, you'll probably think this is a dumb statement, but like musicians kind of get screwed over a lot, money wise, a lot. Like they kind of like when we talked about Lizzo a lot, like Lizzo has $40 million net worth, which is a lot. Like she gets to live in Hollywood and own a mansion and travel and do cool stuff. But like she has made hundreds of millions of dollars for other people that she doesn't see, because the inherent way that music contracts and labels work is more often than not, it's a short-term cash surge to the artist, and then they sell their royalties from their albums. And so if their albums become popular, they don't really see that money.
Yeah.
They get a flat rate from the label, or maybe they get like a very small percentage of residuals.
Yeah.
Like album sales or single sales or whatever. But, you know, so what's interesting is like Ariana, I'm sure, has a lot of liquid cash, but not as much as you probably think that she does. And to get out of these contracts.
Diamonds for 6 of my bitches.
Yeah, Scooter probably bought 3 of those, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's just how, it's just how it works. Like, you know, they don't, a lot of artists, like, they, you know, they kind of, it depends on the person, but there's a lot of artists who, like, don't really care about having, like, tons and tons of money. Like, they'll live in luxury.
Yeah.
They'll have, like, a couple $1 million, maybe, like, 5, 10, depending on how popular they are.
Yeah.
But, like, they don't really understand how much they're getting exploited still after that. So it's, I'm sure it is, the contracts are structured in a way where if you were to buy out of it, you would need tens and tens of millions of dollars to buy out.
Yeah.
Most of which I'm not sure these artists have.
Right.
Maybe, you know, like there's a lot of different ways they could have paid it out. But I would think honestly these contracts would like it would be harder than just a buyout to get out of it. I would think there would have to be some kind of breach of contract.
Right.
Which is really interesting to speculate about.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely smell a scandal. I mean, like we said, I'm sure it costs them tons of money to get out of these contracts, and
tons.
I guess it like makes me wonder, like you said, there's no information on the internet. Like, who are the gatekeepers? Like, how does that happen? Like, obviously, like I said, I smell a scandal. There's something to be said. There's something to be told. Like, who's keeping it out of this? Who's keeping it out of the media? Like, how does that even work?
Well, from a journalism perspective, major publications, even like a TMZ, for example, when you're dealing with a guy like Scooter, who is actually so rich and so influential and such a savvy business guy, because like that's also funny. Like his social media is like so normal and wholesome.
Yeah.
Like his Twitter like is like it's like he uses like a nickname where like, hold on, I'll find it really quick just before I say this point. But like
on
all
Raya.
of his,
like I know someone that lives in New York that like got on the Raya app, which is like that dating app for like influencers and celebrities or whatever, and literally like swiped on Scooter Braun.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his Twitter says Scott Scooter Braun. Here I'll share my screen with you really quick. Okay. Like look at this. Like this is just to. Do you see it? Wait, it's loading. All right, you see it?
Sure
look at
I'm pretty sure that's his
picture.
Raya. I'm pretty sure that's his Raya profile picture too. Be kind for everyone. Be kind for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Yeah, against fucking you, Scooter. Like
yeah,
literally dude, literally against you. Like he's like, be kind. Everyone's fighting about like literally against you.
And he like posts pictures of like him and his daughter or like him fishing, and he's like, great day out on the water. And this is all to say, like, it's kind of smart because it's like if you don't really know him or what he's done, you're like, oh, this is just like some normal guy.
Yeah.
And then you realize he's like one of the most cutthroat, like Hollywood motherfuckers out there. Like he is ruthless. The Taylor Swift stuff is ruthless.
He's like, yeah, I just cheated Taylor Swift out of her entire life's work, but great boat day with the fam.
I mean, yeah. And he's like, oh, people call me Scooter, but you can call me Scott. It's like, oh, my name's Scott, but I go by Scooter. Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it seems like he's trying to live two different lives. But wait, back to the news stuff though. Like my question of like because I'm just really interested. Like how do they keep this stuff out of the news when it's like nobody's business is private?
Yes, thank you. The reason why they do that is because in reality they are terrified of him. And they're terrified of him and his PR team and his influence and his power. True. So even if we were in LA and we knew some journalists and let's say we had lunch with them, no recording, no anything, and we're like, okay, off the record, this will never come out, like, what do you know? They would probably have a pretty good guess or a couple guesses. Yeah. And there is probably a decent amount of information that's not public right now, but publishing it is it's a big deal. Like with a story like that, every single detail has to be perfect. You can't, like, literally the smallest thing could get you sued for libel. Okay. So yes, because slander's spoken, libel's written. So libel. So so if you get like the smallest detail wrong, like, let's say he like screwed Ariana out of a bunch of money. Well, if you say he screwed her out of $8 million and it was actually $5 million sued, right? And then the whole story loses all its credibility. Right. So, and also, I mean, there's also a possibility that they know what he did and they even have all the facts, but they're like, we can't publish this. Like, we're scared of him. Dang. That freaking sucks. That freaking sucks. I mean, it's got to come out at some point. But yeah, powerful people like that just like freaking suck, man. Like, it just freaking suck. Like, you could, like he truly has the best of both worlds. Like you said, like on his social media, like he just gets to be like this, like, he's like, I'm Scott, you know what I mean? I'm just this normal family guy out on the boat with my family. And then he's just like absolutely belligerently ruthless in business. And it's like, it's just so fucked. Like, it's just such a bad cycle. Yeah, because what's interesting about him is what you find normally is like there's a ton of people who do exactly what he does, like in Hollywood, but you don't know their names. Yeah. They're not public figures because they don't need to be. It's like they don't want to be famous. They just want to be rich and powerful. Right. These the people talk about a lot, like when you're trying to develop a TV show, you're trying to deal with like a big movie studio or a TV network, like the big guns, right? Like there are so many steps just to get to the point where the suits even know who you are, right? Right. And the suits have so much power that they can just be like, that dude's ugly. Show's canceled. Yeah. And they're like, all right, sorry. And then it like goes down the ladder, all the way down the ladder. And then some dude just gets a call and he's like, yeah, this guy thought you were ugly, so your show's canceled. It's like, well, that's 4 months of work just out the drain, but that's literally true though. Like, no, for sure. But like, you don't know these people. They're not public figures. For the most part, like CEOs, especially during the writer's strike, have become kind of little public figures. Like people love shitting on Zaslav because he made like $400 million last year, and they're like, dude. Oh my god. Yeah. So ridiculous. And they're paying people $7 an hour on Love Island. No, not Love Island. Love is Blind. They were getting paid. It came out that they were getting paid $7.50, which is way below minimum wage. You got it. Minimum wage. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, $7.50. Median wage would be the average wage of Americans. All right. Not the minimum. Okay. Thanks, man. A little math for you there, but yeah. So I think that's kind of where he fucked up a little bit. Is you don't really like, if that's your game, you don't want people to know who you are. Yeah. Because then they like, especially when he's so not to say he's recognizable, like he looks like a million other white guys, but like he's a little bit recognizable. I don't know, like so like the baseball hat thing. Like I feel like that's kind of his thing, maybe. Yeah, and he's just like a relatively like handsome, fit white guy in his mid to late 30s. This is kind of what he looks like. So maybe that kind of helps him blend in a little bit. But like, you know, if you're like some of these suit guys, like let's just say like, you know, you're calling to get like reservations at Nobu in Malibu, right? All right, you call and you say like, oh, my name's Zach Thomas. I don't know, something like my name's Darren Johnson. And they're like, okay, Darren Johnson. But like, what do you do? Oh, I'm the vice president of Paramount Pictures.
Yeah.
You know, but no one knows who the fuck you are.
Right.
But if you call and you're like, hey, I'm Scooter Braun getting reservations, you're like, oh, we know who you are.
Yeah.
You know, not that like that would.
They're kicking a table out and giving it to Scooter.
Yeah, if it's a Taylor Swift fan, he's gonna be like, all right, somebody, like, all right, every chef go piss in a bucket, and then we're gonna pour that over each of his dishes as it comes out. You know, if they're all Taylor Swift fans.
God.
But.
Well, no, back to him being like kind of like in the spotlight. I mean, when the Justin Bieber movie came out, I saw that in theaters when I was like a little kid, and like the whole movie is basically about him. Like literally like
about
the
Scooter?
like the whole movie like is literally like about him, and like he like basically like stars in the movie and is like talks about how he found him on YouTube, how he like set him up with Usher or whatever, and like that was like the big breaking point. Yeah, I saw that movie literally in theaters. And yeah, he like Scooter's like the star.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and so maybe like I think, and this could end up being his downfall in a way, is I think he's one of these guys who has like the ruthlessness, he's got the business savvy, but he also has the desire for fame, which none of the other ones have, which kind of distinguishes him from like the rest of this like very powerful like dark circle of Hollywood. Not to get like conspiracy theory, I'm not saying they're like, you know, adrenochrome, like, well, I'm not, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying more like, there's just this like, it's like this like gentleman's club, right? It's like there's this boys club at the top who no one knows, no one really talks to them. They like probably live out in like Calabasas or live out in Beverly Hills or whatever, probably never talk to real people. But every now and then in like their home theater, they'll be like, oh, 5 new sitcoms. And they watch like a minute of each one. They're like, I like that. No, I don't like that.
Right.
And that's the entire selection process.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just like,
but like
one
no one
guy.
knows those guys' names.
Yeah.
That's what's interesting.
So speaking of conspiracy theories, like, you know, Taylor Swift fans are always talking about how everything she does is intentional. Everything she does is cryptic. She plans like so far ahead, like even with like her relationships. It's like, for all we know, her and Joe Alwyn, her last boyfriend, were broken up way before it was actually released, and that's why people have speculated that like a lot of the songs on the album were about their breakup, even though technically they broke up in the news after her last album was released. But this has got me thinking about the song Karma that she wrote. Like, maybe like if the Scooter stuff ever does break, and like you said, maybe this is the beginning of his downfall, like maybe these people have known for a long time. You know what I mean? Like starting with Taylor Swift, and I'm like, shit, maybe that's what the song Karma is literally about. Like, I don't know if you've listened to it all the way through, but that would honestly be like kind of sick. Like, that would be kind of sick. Like, if that's like what it's alluding to, is like his downfall, because obviously like he is literally like her worst enemy. Like, above Jake Gyllenhaal, like, above, like, who else does she freaking hate? I don't even know, because I'm not a Swiftie. But, like, I feel like Scooter
John
is,
Mayer.
like... Yeah, John Mayer, thank you. Well, I hate John Mayer, too. But, like, I feel like the song Karma, like, that would be kind of sick if Scooter literally has, like, this, like, worldwide downfall, and this huge scandal comes out, and Taylor Swift's gonna be, like, tee-hee-hee-hee-hee, like she does with everything else.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it could be like a little bit of a Weinstein situation.
Yeah.
More like not necessarily that Scooter's doing that, but more that like people knew about that forever, but they're like, dude, I will not have a career if I get in this guy's business, so no thanks.
Yeah, I mean, even back to 30 Rock, there's literally a quote in 30 Rock, and I mean, this was obviously, 30 Rock is an old show, so it was done years before 2020 when the Harvey Weinstein stuff broke. But there's literally, it was 2017 when the Harvey Weinstein stuff broke?
That's what because it started Me Too.
Oh, damn, I thought, anyway, there's like a quote in 30 Rock where Jenna's like, I turned down sex with Harvey Weinstein on 2 out of 4 occasions. So, like, 30 Rock is, like, but I mean, that's Tina Fey, and she's such a mogul. She's not scared of anything. Tina Fey can literally say whatever she wants because she has Lorne Michaels in her back pocket. So she can say whatever she wanted to on that show as long as Lorne was okay with it.
Yeah, I believe there's a Courtney Love quote as well from like the mid 2000s. You ever seen that clip?
I don't think so.
I think it's Courtney Love.
Is that Kurt Cobain's wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I want to say she was on like a red carpet, and some reporter asked her like, "What advice would you give to young girls who want to get into Hollywood?" And she like kind of laughed, and she's like, "I shouldn't say this." And then she like, there's like a pause, and then she says it, and she's like, "If Harvey Weinstein invites you to his hotel room, say no," or something like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you know, I mean, it's Hollywood is, it's a place with a bunch of individuals who think very highly of themselves and think they're very talented, and they have a very specific idea of what they want out of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
They want fame, fortune, one of those
power.
three or both. Power. Yeah, I guess one of those three or both. Or maybe at the very least, they want the ability to like make their art and make it profitable and whatever. And so there are a lot of moral things that people will look the other way to if they think taking a moral stand will hurt that.
Right.
You know, it's just how it is, you know, like, you know, I think a lot of people knew a lot of the Kevin Spacey stuff before it became public, you know.
I mean, Tarantino's came out and basically said like, I mean, he's a smart guy, so he didn't come out and say, yeah, I knew exactly what Harvey was doing, but like he basically did. And he was just like, yeah, I just thought it was pathetic. Like, what am I supposed to do about it? Like, he's like, if someone's going to choose, which I kind of was like, all right, Quentin, like, stan, which I obviously always stan him, but he was like, what am I supposed to do if someone decides that they're going to make a decision to advance their career? Like, what does that have to do with me? I'm like, facts. Like, literally facts.
Yeah. I mean, like, Weinstein's name is on the Pulp Fiction poster.
Yeah.
Like, they owned Miramax. They produced Pulp Fiction.
Yeah,
so,
Quentin
he knew.
The other way. Quentin looked the other way.
That's another guy who's like, dude, I just want to make movies.
Yeah.
I want to make movies with big name actors and get my art out there. So like, I'm not gonna. Yeah, that's the mentality of 99% of Hollywood creatives.
Yeah,
They're
Quentin.
laser focused. Yeah, and you know, and it is what it is. You can criticize that morally, but also like you're not in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what you would do,
right,
or whatever. So, it's something that I think a lot of people in Hollywood have, but I think that it could be changing a little bit, you know, like maybe like all of these Scooter's, going back to that, a lot of Scooter, you know, all these musicians who are dropping Scooter as their manager, maybe this is them taking like that moral stand.
Mm-hmm. I hope so.
But then again, I think a lot of them defended him over the Taylor stuff 3-4 years ago, or they stayed silent. So
yes,
it's like,
they did.
How much of a moral stand can you take?
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, he could have paid them to do that. Like, you literally never know. Like, or like they felt that they would get dropped if they didn't defend him or something like that. Like, we just don't know what's going on behind closed doors. But I mean, as we've talked about this before, like Hollywood, we know Hollywood is a scary place, but like I do hope that we get that the scandal, whatever it is, that the news breaks, and I do hope that that's why those people step down, because like normal people like us normals, like we can't, like, we don't have any power to do stuff about that. Like, we have power, but we don't have power to do or change anything that's happening with Hollywood. But like people like Justin Bieber, Ariana, like it really is, like, it's sad, but like it really is on them. Like, it's literally on them to like take a stand to do something about it, because like nobody else can.
Yeah.
So,
like they know things that no one else would know.
Yeah. I definitely smell a scandal. This is interesting. Very interesting. So I think you might have already said it. When did they all start dropping him? Was it like
about a week ago,
okay.
week and a half ago? It was very sudden. Like, okay. It was like, I think Justin was the first one to announce like that he's working towards him dropping him, which was like huge, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I saw Carly Rae Jepsen was like right after that. And then I thought Ariana was right after that, but I guess not, because that just came out like yesterday, like okay. Thursday, August 31st. So, and then in more research, I saw Demi Lovato and J Balvin drop them as well.
Okay.
So, it's not like super hot off the presses. The Ariana ones, like maybe the the last person to do that. So I'm not sure, but like we kind of said earlier, like the way that the media is and how powerful he is, I think a lot of publications will be kind of scared to fully go after him.
Makes sense.
So or what also happens is they'll figure out what happened and they'll go, okay, I can write an article in the LA Times about it that, like, I don't know, 50,000 people will read, or 100,000 or whatever, or I can write a book about it and then sell it to a publisher and make way more money, or sell it to Netflix as a documentary. Exactly. And then all of those details never come out. It also, this helps too, because Netflix is notorious for doing this, where, like, essentially if there's a story like this and it's sold to Netflix, okay, great. Now you have Netflix's PR team being like, we don't want these details out until the documentary comes out because we want people to watch the documentary.
Right.
So now you've got Netflix being like, oh, this person, like, they're going after journalists for, like, trying to talk about the story or report it because they don't want the details coming out. They want to be the one to tell the story, to, report it. So
now, like, hindsight 2020, if I had to guess, I think you just, like, hit the nail on the head. They're probably trying to make a effing documentary about this right now, and that's why nothing is in. That's why nothing is in the public, or not in the public. That's why nothing is in the news, is because they're probably, like, actively, like, putting this documentary together right now, and they've probably just got a ton of what are they called? NDAs out right now, right? Until the thing's done filming or whatever they have to do.
Yeah,
but
totally. Yeah.
So I'm guessing a hot steamy scandal, regardless, but. Lee, you're probably right. They're probably trying to make a documentary about it, like, as we speak.
Yeah, and they usually crank these things out pretty quick. Like, I remember, like, the Murdaugh documentary was literally out, like, before the trial ended.
Yeah.
Like, they crank those out. They I guess they can still do that during the strike.
Yeah.
Because I
documentaries are almost always archives. Like, it's like, I feel like a documentary style is almost always so in-person interviews in real time, right? So, like, you know what I mean? I don't know what that has to do with the writer's strike, right? Like, you could just call someone up and interview them, and then it's just, like, archival footage stitched together. Like,
Yeah, I'm not sure if editors are a part of the unionization efforts.
I think either.
Not. I don't think so. I could be wrong. Or, like, the production crew, because you still need a lighting guy. You still need a boom mic. You still need a camera guy. Someone's got to ask the questions.
Yeah.
There's still some form of writing. Someone's got to, like, actually write the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But if I know Netflix, they're probably finding every way they can to make sure that it still gets done.
They're gonna use like deep fakes. They're gonna like deep fake the entire documentary, just like literally just.
They get AI to narrate it.
Yeah. Everybody's characters are gonna be just like AI, and it's just gonna be like the slightest bit off. I'm sure it'll still make millions of dollars. But
it's like a robotic voice. Like Scooter Braun found Justin Bieber when he was 9 years old.
Yeah.
And it's like it's like a robot narrating it. Just don't be surprised, I guess. What we're saying is if you open your Netflix in about a month or two and the top thing is like a picture of Scooter Braun wearing a baseball hat, like looking sad, hounded by paparazzi, and like the brightness is turned down and it's like the dark side of the downfall of Scooter Braun.
Scooter got scooted. The downfall of Scooter Braun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then like the trailer plays and it's just like a very glamorous shot of Hollywood. It's like Hollywood. Who runs Hollywood?
No.
One man.
It's like Toronto, 2012, and it like starts with like Justin Bieber. Like they're like back at Justin Bieber's grandma's house where it all freaking started. That's like the one scene from the Justin Bieber movie that stuck out to me the most. Is like his grandma's like, Justin, before you go hang out with your friends, you got to clean your room, because they're like, hey guys. Even celebrities clean their room.
He's a normal
just because,
kid.
Because Justin is famous doesn't mean that he doesn't have to clean his room. And then they go in his room, and what he has to clean up is like 15 different pairs of like shoes that were just sent to him. Like just like Vans, Adidas, Nikes, and he's like, Grandma, sorry, I gotta put my shoes away. Like, and I don't know why, but that scene is like the one scene from that movie that stuck with me the most, where I was just like, damn, how do I get Like, how do I get shoes sent to me like that? This little scumbag. But yeah, we'll see. I think a documentary, once you said that, I was like, oh shoot, like that sounds pretty plausible. I mean, I'll definitely watch it. And then I'm also curious about the the Taylor Swift stuff wrapped up in it too, because she really is like, if I'll give her credit for anything, it's for being like a PR genius, you know what I mean? And like her cryptic stuff really is like, it really is cool how she lays everything out and how methodical she is with it. And I mean, the song Karma, like if you look up the lyrics or listen to it after we're done, and then tell me what you think about Scooter Braun, because that would be pretty sick. And it's like, if anybody knows, like I feel like Taylor Swift knows. She's so powerful now. Like she knows everything. So
yeah.
Damn. I hope it's not like I hope it's not like a Harvey Weinstein similar thing. I don't know if Scooter strikes me as that type of guy, but like I hope it's not like he was like preying on artists like sexual. Obviously he preys on artists regardless, but like not in a sexual way for as much as we know. So I just hope that it's not something like that.
Yeah, I hope I hope his name wasn't in the flight logs.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
That would be tough. Like something like that would be like, obviously we're not rooting for that.
No.
We don't like, cause like that'd just be a bummer. It's like, oh man, like I want something like comically evil.
Yeah.
Something that's like interesting. That's not like, oh, he was doing that. That's depressing.
Yeah. Same old.
Like, oh, that's
yeah.
sad.
Yeah.
But like I want something like he like something funny, like he like there's like an artist who was gonna sign with him, and then like they didn't sign with him, and then he tried to like push him off a boat or something.
Yeah.
Like something funny like that.
Oh man.
So
frickin' Scooter got scooted.
yeah, whoever told him like, hey dude, you ever thought about just calling yourself Scooter, and then you'll seem like a way more cool, relatable guy instead of Scott? That guy's a genius. Whoever told him that.
Hell yeah.
So
I want to see a picture of him on a scooter. That'll be the Netflix cover. Scooter on a scooter.
Him on a scooter?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he probably is smart enough. He's probably never stepped foot on a scooter in his entire life. This guy's smart. He's famous. He's not getting caught with a paparazzi picture on a scooter being named Scooter. Like, there's literally no way he's ever ridden a scooter in his entire life. Unless that's where the name came from. Maybe he has some crazy story about a scooter from his childhood, and that's where it came from. But
yeah, also, the layout of LA is not really conducive to scooters. Imagine him on like the 405 on a scooter.
They don't have birds there.
Like,
they don't have limes in LA.
I mean, I'm sure they do, but it's like it's so sectioned.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I'm sure like there's limes on like Melrose, or like Rodeo.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are. Maybe not Rodeo, but like I'm sure there are scooters there. But it's more like, if I'm thinking about like you're trying to get from one place to the other, scooter is not the vehicle I would choose.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because also, like, if you're like, also like, this could not be true specifically with the layout, but like in my head, this makes sense. Like, you're in one area of LA and it's really nice, and you're on your scooter, and then you go 3 blocks and there's just homeless people everywhere.
Yeah, and then you're like outside of like
you're in
the
Skid
scooters.
Row accidentally.
You're like outside of the scooter's territory, and so your scooter like turns off. Like, like how it happens. Like, it used to happen in Tallahassee all the time. Like, they'd only let us have the scooters on FSU's campus. And if you tried to go, like, anywhere off campus, your scooter just, like, starts to slow down slowly and then just dies. Like, yeah.
Totally.
That would not be good in LA.
Well, I think that was a pretty good place to wrap up.
Cool.
I think that was a good discussion.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. My only request would be, Netflix, please put it in a single episode. Like, it's insane that documentaries have episodes now, regardless. But like, let's just make a documentary that is a one and done. Give me, like, I know you can do it, because you're also gonna exclude so much shit that you don't want to talk about because you're trying to paint a narrative. Like, just give it to me in like an hour and a half, and I'll sit down and I'll watch it and I'll pay attention and I'll get it and go, great. Like, that's like, I'll close with this, but like one of the reasons why I love YouTube video essays and YouTube videos so much is because that's what it is. It's what documentaries used to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey, one topic, hey, the history of this. It starts and it's like, hey, it starts with this, and here's some twists and turns, and here's the end. And it was 35 minutes long.
Yeah.
Great. I got it. I don't need 4 hours. Just whatever.
It's absolutely going to be 6 episodes. There's no way that it's going to be.
No, I know.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be 6 episodes. Like, that's just the
and
world that we live in.
And there's gonna be an entire episode about Scooter's grandma,
mm-hmm.
And she's gonna be living in like Stillwater, Oklahoma, and she's like got a little, or like Savannah, Georgia. She's got a little house, and she'll be like, Scooter was a different kind of kid. All the other kids would, they'd play in the sandbox, but Scooter, he was doing business deals. I knew. She's like, when Scooter was 4 years old. All the kids, they wanted to play t-ball, but Scooter, he wanted to run a lemonade stand at the t-ball games and sell it for $1. He always had a mind for money.
Oh my God, they're gonna have like Justin Bieber's mom on there too, like literally talking about like it's gonna be like Justin Bieber's mom, Scooter's grandparents, and like Carly Rae Jepsen's cousin. Like those are gonna be the people her aunt. Those are gonna be the people that they interview. Also, like,
literally,
has she dropped anything since Friday? Isn't that the one that goes Friday?
We're gonna act like you didn't just say that.
What did she drop?
We're gonna move on. I'm
I missing something?
I'm gonna give you one more chance to figure out who you think you're thinking of.
Is Carly Rae?
No.
What? That's the wrong person?
Yes.
All right, hang on. What does she sing?
Don't Google it. Who sings that song? It's not Carly Rae Jepsen.
Is it Miranda Sings?
Closer, but
adjacent?
No. Kind of. Rebecca Black is who you're looking for.
Oh, that's right.
We don't have. Maybe we can get into this next week because if there's not enough news, Rebecca Black's a fun story. She was like 13, and her parents like signed her to this like deal. There's this dude in like the early 2010s. It's the guy who raps in Friday. The guy who comes in on the truck, the big guy who raps.
Mm-hmm.
That guy owned like a production studio where he's like, I'll make your teenager famous. And so he would write terrible pop songs and then get like teenage girls or people to sign with him. And then going back to the music industry, like he'd pay them like pennies on the dollar, and then he would get all the credit for it. So that dude made a ton of money on Friday that Rebecca Black did not make.
Classic.
Carly Rae Jepsen sings "Call Me Maybe." That's the song you're looking for,
dude. That's the same song. I'm sorry, "Call Me Maybe" and "Friday" are the same song. Like they sound exactly the same. Like I'm like not that embarrassed that I mixed that up. Like Friday and "Call Me Maybe," they sound like they're the same song. Like it's the same vibe, it's the same song, it's the same crappy YouTube video. Which one is the one with the guy pushing the lawnmower in jeans? And like with like the ripped jeans? That might be "Call Me Maybe." Where there's literally like the hot guy or whatever that she's like pining after is like mowing the lawn, but he's mowing the lawn in like skin tight like Hollister jeans with like rips in it.
I don't think I've ever seen the "Call Me Maybe" music video, but I'll take your word for it.
Check it out.
No, Carly's good. Like they're two pop songs made in the same era. I don't, it's like, I guess, yeah. Like does California Girls sound like?
Yeah.
Your Love Is My Drug or some Kesha song?
Yeah,
pretty similar.
That's like a really good comparison.
So that's but Carly, she's. She as far as like huge mainstream success, I don't know like how much, but she has a huge fan base. People love Carly. I don't know if you know that.
No, I didn't know that.
She is a very dedicated fan base. People listen to like her albums and like love her albums. Like people love Carly.
Hell yeah, Carly.
People love them some Carly. Shout out Carly Rae Jepsen.
I found the picture, by the way.
Of what?
Oh shit. Wait, hang on. Sorry,
Are you getting hacked?
No. I accidentally clicked on SoundCloud. I was trying to tell you, I found the picture of the jeans I'm talking about here. I'm gonna send you this link really quick just so you can see
this is like what a music director thought a hot guy was 11 years ago.
Yeah, so click on this article and then like scroll down to the middle, and you see like him pushing the lawnmower in his ripped jeans, and that's what it is in the music video. Like he literally is like, and she's like longing for him. She's like staring at him out of the window, and he's literally in her front yard in ripped skin tight Hollister jeans mowing the lawn shirtless.
They paid him $500 to do that.
I guess so.
Oh my god.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
it says they paid him $500 for the day shoot. Like this guy, oh my god, all-time bad tattoo.
Yeah. Literally all-time bad tattoo. He kind of looks familiar though. Like, did he do something else? I just looked him up on IMDb and I don't think so, but he does kind of look just the slightest bit familiar.
Yeah, since the music video debuted in March 2012, Call Me Maybe has been viewed more than 1 billion times.
Wow.
1 billion views.
That's amazing.
And the co-star, the secondary star made $500 on the shoot.
I'm like,
support the strikers. Honestly.
I'm like, do we need to play out with Call Me Maybe? Except we can't because we'd have to pay her, wouldn't we?
Well, we can talk about that off air, but we might need a new intro-outro song. But
oh, really?
Anyway,
oh, shit. Okay.
and we'll talk about that later. Shout out Glazed Eyes. It has nothing to do with them. They're still cool.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, we'll end it there. I said that 10 minutes ago, but we'll actually end it here this time. Thank you guys for listening. This was a great episode. We are on Instagram and TikTok at The Leen Show, and we're actually on Twitter now at The Leen Show Pod, I believe. Let me double check that.
Sweet.
We currently have 0 followers, so please give us some followers over there. Kathleen's not on Twitter. I'm on Twitter all the time, so I'll be at Leen Show Pod is our Twitter. So I'll be throwing some of the clips and stuff on there, maybe
Sweet.
giving my thoughts on random things that go viral day-to-day basis. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. Please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We clipped out the Roger Sherman interview from last week. I'm gonna start doing that more and more as we have like segments that I really like that go well as a one-off. So that's great. And if you're listening on Spotify, thank you so much. Please consider giving us 5 stars. That would be awesome. And thank you to Glazed Eyes for letting us use their song Way Down in the intro outro, coming off their upcoming album. Check them out on Spotify. It's a great group. Local Pensacola band. And I guess that's it. Kathleen, do you have any? Whoa, you just got illuminated by God.
Really? Oh, the sun came out.
Wow.
I'm looking very angelic over here. No, everybody, I mean, depending on when you're listening to this, it might be Labor Day weekend still, it might not be, but have a fun Labor Day weekend, everybody. Stay safe.
Yeah, have a fun, safe Labor Day weekend. The day that you listen to this will be the day that the Florida State Seminoles kick off their season and play the Louisiana State University Tigers.
Woo!
And I hope it will be a great game.
Yeah, my whole family's going. Not me, though.
You didn't want to go?
I did, but I would have to fly, and I just wanted to save the money, so I'm gonna watch on TV, but I'll live vicariously through them, so no worries.
Sweet. Cool. Well, thank you guys for listening, and play us out, Glazed Eyes. Have a great one, guys.
If you fall, I'll catch you